Hi, okay, so my name's Charlie, and it's like 3 in the morning, and I can't sleep, so I'm gonna show you how to make some good ramen that's not shitty, because ramen is a shitty food because it costs like 30 cents a packet, and if that's like the only thing you can afford, like my life was for like most of this past year, um, you're probably gonna end up eating a lot of ramen. So let's make some ramen that's not terrible so that life doesn't suck because you have sucky food for ages. Yeah, cool. Okay, so first things first, you're gonna want to get some ramen. As you can see, I have things that aren't ramen in my pantry, which is a new experience for me. But I also have one ramen packet that's left because I haven't bought ramen in a while because, I don't know, I've been buying other things. So here we have some chicken flavor top ramen. So we're gonna put that over here for a minute. And then the next thing you're gonna want to do is make sure you have a pot. My pot has already been used today, but that's okay. We're just gonna rinse it out. And yeah, everything will be fine. You know? Sometimes you just don't really want to do dishes. So yeah. Thing number 3, or wait, are we on 3? Thing number 3 or 4 or whatever we're doing is you're gonna look in your fridge or wherever you keep things, and you're gonna see if there's anything that you can add to your ramen. So for example, I have some canned corn. That might be good. I also have garlic. Garlic is always a good thing to put in your ramen. Soy sauce is, I guess, also a good thing. I always put sriracha in my ramen because I'm a terrible person. But like, if you don't like sriracha, you don't have to do that. But yeah, we're gonna get this, and we're gonna get this, and we're gonna get these. So, like, general rule of thumb of making good ramen that doesn't suck is you should probably add at least one vegetable and at least one, like, protein, I guess. You can put eggs in it. You can just, like, drop an egg in there while the water's boiling and, like, cook an egg in your ramen. But I ran out of eggs today because I used them to make this big fucking pile of cookies over here. I made a huge batch of cookies earlier today, and I ended up burning a bunch of them because I'm terrible. So if you don't have any of those things that you can put in your ramen, I guess just add another vegetable, I suppose. Here, let's go look in the pantry. What do we have? Here. Frickin' green beans. That'll work. That's cool. That's good. Okay. Alright, so once you've successfully obtained all of your things that you're using, you're gonna put water in your pot. Frick. I can't turn the sink on with one hand. Give me a second. Okay. There we go. You're gonna put enough water that you can boil some noodles. And you're gonna not care that there's a little bit of, like, spaghetti noodle debris still sitting in there because you don't really care. Then you're gonna add your noodles. Okay, so once you have added your noodle packet into the thing, you want to not drop your flavor packet directly into the boiling water because that never ends well. And here is where the controversy happens. Some people like to put their little flavor packet things in, like, at the beginning when they start cooking their noodles, which is what I like to do. So we're gonna do that now. But, like, some people are all like, oh no, you gotta wait until the end to put your flavor packet in, because otherwise that's not the proper way to do it. I don't know, man. I don't know what the proper way to cook ramen is. This is just how I survived my years of eating cheap food that you can buy for $1. You know, I personally think that if you put the flavor packet in when you're just starting to cook the noodles, then the noodles absorb more of the flavor. And I think that's good, because I like things that taste like stuff and not like plain noodles. So, you know, that's my opinion on the matter, but whatever, you do you. And then once you've got your noodles cooking, you can start, like, adding shit. So, like, there's some beans. That might be a little bit too much bean, but, you know, whatever. Here's some of this. Oh, yeah. Vegetables. Got the double vegetable going, because I don't have any, like, things with protein. You can just stir that shit right in. You can hear it sizzling. And what else do I have? Oh, yeah. Here, let's see if I can unscrew this jar with one hand. Probably not. I'll do it under my armpit. Still trying to hold the camera. Fuck. There we go. I got it. So. Oh, yeah. Skills. We got some minced garlic. Just gonna get a nice scoop full of that. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Freaking garlic. I'm sorry. I like garlic way too much. Here's a cooking tip for you. If you think your food has enough garlic in it, it doesn't, and you're gonna want to add another good, like, tablespoon and a half of garlic. You know, if your food, if you think after that you have enough garlic, you're gonna want to add some sriracha. Yeah, oh, baby, look at that sriracha volcano. Crap, I think my sriracha is clogged up. Come on, there we go. Oh, yeah. So yeah, those are my #1 cooking tips. Add more garlic, add more sriracha. And that, my friends, is how you survive college. Okay, and once you have successfully dumped all of that shit into your bowl or your pot of ramen, it should look like this, or like whatever you've added to it. And at this point, you just kind of, you know, let it boil for a little bit until the noodles are cooked, and then you're golden. I'm gonna get a bowl. Also, I really want to show off this bowl that I have. This bowl has dinosaurs on it. Yeah, I'm an adult. I'm 20 years old and I've got a bowl with dinosaurs on it. Fight me. You know what? It's the little things in life. It's the little things. Look at that. You hear that? You hear that bubbling? It's a sizzling pot of volcanic deliciousness. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's 3 in the morning. Okay, here's a hot tip. While you're waiting for your ramen to boil. Oh, Jesus, the lighting is so red over here. Okay, hot tip. #1, while you're waiting for your ramen to boil, you can watch Monster Factory because you have a horrible sense of humor. Oh, hey, here's hot tip #2. #2, while you're waiting for your ramen to boil, water your plants because you've probably forgotten to water them for a good, like, 3 or 4 days now because you've been sick. Hey. Beautiful. Holy shit, would you look at that? The ramen's fucking boiling. That's some bubbly shit right there. Once it actually starts doing that, you're just gonna want to wait until the noodles look like they're actually cooked. What's a good metric of measurement for telling, like, whether your ramen noodles are cooked? They should no longer be that weird, like, whitish color that they are when they're in the package. They should have thoroughly absorbed the color of, you know, whatever color your broth is. In this case, sriracha colored. So, you know, these need a couple more minutes. They're getting there. They're approaching being correctly cooked.
Crime? Not on my watch. I think I might go to the grocery store next door and steal a candy bar. No! No crime. Crown. I would love him to have a crown. Oh, that's not.
Alright, these noodles seem to have reached the point where they're mostly transparent and you can't really tell the difference between the noodles and everything else. So that means it's cooked. So now, first you're going to turn off the stove. because I always forget to turn the stove off, and then I come back over like 20 minutes later and the stove is still on, and I'm like terrified that a fire demon has possessed my kitchen. And that's no fun, so definitely don't do that. And then you're just going to deposit it all gently and beautifully into your bowl, and apparently steam up your camera real good. Yep. There you go. You're also, of course, when you're done, going to deposit your used pot directly into your whatever else you got in the sink, and fill it with water, so that none of that nasty shit from boiling around the edges, like, if you leave that just out somewhere, it's gonna dry, and it's gonna get stuck on there, and it's gonna be a pain in the dick to wash off. So, like, keep that shit moist, keep it good and moist, put it in your sink, and then when you go to wash it, or, like, just rinse it out next time you need to use it, if you're a lazy ass like me, it won't be an hour's worth of scrubbing. So yeah, pro tip. Alright, so now you have your ramen, and if you're like me, and I don't know if you are, and you're the sort of person who just does everything all in one space, you're gonna probably have it on your desk with your computer and all your other junk. So, I would highly recommend putting down, like, some napkins or something, so you don't, like, when you're slurping your noodles, you don't get noodle sauce all over everything you own. Because, like, okay, real talk for a second, I seriously have ruined so many pieces of traditional art by eating ramen too close to them, and then getting gross, nasty, sriracha ramen broth all over it. So, pro tip number 2, don't do that. Alright, so anyway, once your ramen has had some time to chill, some time to cool a little bit, if you're an impatient ass, you can put some ice cubes or shit in it, but that waters down the flavor, so I would not recommend. Unless you have like 10 minutes before you have to be somewhere, in which case, by all means, do that. You know, throw your ramen out into the middle of the street in the dead of winter, if you think that's... I just had this mental image of someone just dumping buckets of ramen out their window in the dead of night, in the middle of winter, and it freezes as it falls through the air. Because, as you know, I live in Wisconsin where it's -15 all the fucking time. So your ramen would just freeze as it fell through the air, and it would land on the head of a unwitting passerby just walking through the streets in the middle of the night in the dead of winter. That isn't actually too plausible now that I think of it, but you know what I was getting at, right? Anyway, once your ramen is cool, you can eat that shit, basically, is what I was trying to say. There, my camera has been successfully placed on my shelf. Cool. Let's taste test this motherfucker. Actually, you know, it's still steaming, so I think it might still be a little too hot to eat. My tongue is going to regret this decision, but you know what? That's just how life goes sometimes. Yeah, you know, I think there's not enough garlic in it. I think I probably should have followed my own cooking tip there and put another good, like, 2 tablespoons of garlic in it. That would probably improve this a little bit. There are, however, probably, like, 2 or 3 tablespoons of sriracha in this already. Don't really think it could be improved by any more sriracha. But, you know, if you want to suffer, you could add more sriracha. Oh look, I got a bean. Got a nice green bean going there. Yeah. I mean, this isn't in, like, my top 3 ramens I've ever had, but it's not terrible. And, you know, that was the point. That was what we were going for. We just wanted to make our ramen not terrible. So, mission accomplished. I hope you learned something today about how to make that good ramen. So yeah, I think this was a successful ramen cooking experience. Like, comment, subscribe.